Hey everybody. Wow. Hi, thank you for being here. This is POAP, and I'm Lucas, Thomas, and oh yes, and we'll talk about this amazing project that is POAP, and some of you might know, some of you not, and here we are to talk about the present and the future of POAP, Proof of Attendance Protocol.
So, oh, why? Okay, I'm well louder than you. Okay, I'm gonna try to speak a little bit, not so high. We're gonna pass very quickly on the explanation about what POAP is, and then we're gonna explain you some cool stuff about some drops we made, some usages that are cool, and at the end we have a surprise, and I'm not unveiling it. So maybe we're gonna go fast to the presentation of POAP and what POAP is. So you to understand why there are so many people around the venue hunting the POAPs and trying to have them. So if you can go, Lucas, with the...
First of all, I want to ask, how many of you here have a POAP? Okay.
Okay, we're going to go fast on the presentation. So.
How many of you expect to have a POAP today? Okay. You might get surprised, you might not, we'll see. Okay, so let's go fast. So what the fuck is POAP? Go ahead, Tom.
I'm going to go really fast with this part. So I'm not presenting the protocol. You already know what it is. It's something that allows different project organizations or any type of brand or someone that wants to give a gift, wants to give a reward to their community. They can use this protocol. Of course, it uses NFT, but the idea is the talk be beyond the technical part of the NFT. So, Lucas, can you go with it? Okay. Yeah. So, of course, POAP, it's an NFT. For those don't have, it looks like this. They're round images that are pretty cool that you can collect and have on your phone. You can have them on the blockchain, of course, because they're NFT, but also you can have it on your phone in a more Web 2 type of approach with an email. That's very important because POAPs are a door of entrance on the Web3 for a lot of brands, organizations, or even projects that want to make the first step and confront it to real people with not necessarily all the Web3 infrastructure that you need. So,
this is going to be important for the last part of the presentation where our associate here that going to come, we'll talk about this amazing place we're going to be at the end of the year, and not everyone will have an Ethereum address there like here. So it's really important for the onboarding of the 99% of the world to work with email.
The free part of POAP that you just saw on the previous slide is really important because POAP in a more marketing type of way of explaining it, if I don't go into the technical, it's a souvenir, it's a memory that you can relate to a moment, to a specific moment in time. Of course, you're looking at the POAPs of the conference, but there's also experiences, live experiences. What it's really important is that it's a gift that you can give to your community, and the problem of the gas fees is solved. You can claim a POAP, and you can have it instantly. And the fact that it's a collectible, it's really powerful in the way that people are really attracted to the once they have one, they really like to have the other one that follows. So this is a way to explain POAP that is less technical. You can go to the next one. So, okay, you understood the main distribution way of having a POAP, it's scanning a QR code.
Don't scan this one, it doesn't work. It's for a previous event that you weren't there.
So this is just an example. There's not a POAP on that QR code. You can also, the important thing here maybe to remember is you can have people scanning a QR code and then have a collection with a simple email. That's really important when you're confronted to not only crypto native people. You can go to the next one. This is what I wanted to explain. Of course, there are a lot of integrations, other wallets, other crypto projects that integrate natively POAP and allows you to see your POAPs even if they're not minted in the mainnet Ethereum. But you can do with both POAP Web 2 type of interfaces is to show your collection with an email. This is something that we didn't understood it was so powerful until we were confronted to the real problem that people don't always have their Ethereum address, don't always have crypto, and that's something it's important for community engagement and really starting to go. POAP can be considered mainstream on the niche, but it's still niche on the mainstream world. So this is important. Can go with maybe for the little story, and that's the whole presentation about POAP, and then we're going to talk about what's next. So we're already working with big brands and big companies that are considered to be mainstream and outside the crypto ecosystem. This is our work with Lucas, me, and Sebastian, that is not here on the conference. Our work is to bring POAP to more mainstream type of projects or organization and build on top of POAP services and try to guide those brands in order to build a POAP strategy. Maybe for the little information that is cool, more than 4 million POAPs have been minted until today.
Yeah, today you will see that I think we're minting like the 4,600,000 POAP like today, a couple of minutes ago. And so we were doing 3 millions in December, 4 millions like 2 weeks ago, and most probably will be in 5 millions by the end of this month.
Yeah, so the growth is completely exponential. The protocol will still be open and usable by everyone, but it's really becoming a standard to prove the participation or any type of event of life experience. And now we can go to the cool part of the presentation.
So what's next? So what we wanted to introduce here, guys, is for you to know that whenever you go to an event, a crypto event, but hopefully if we do our jobs correctly in other mainstream events like sports or music or even our afterworks, you will have the possibility to get your POAPs from different ways. The first one is the one that works on our booth right now, that is the kiosk. Again, it's the first image top left, where as you can see, it's an image that you could scan right now and it wouldn't work because it's a dynamic QR code, meaning that at each scan, that QR code changes. Why? Because we have this problem, and everything here is something that we want to really enforce the A attendance in POAP. Because what is one of the main problems that we have is people not being careful enough and sharing the QR code or a code to anyone on Twitter, and then the moment is kind of lost, right? If we don't know, if we cannot be sure who was there, then the proof of attendance is less of a proof of attendance, and it's more I was online at some moment somewhere. And so that's why this QR code changes, and only the guy was that was being there, scan it, and it worked for him, and then the other person or a couple of persons can scan it at the same time. It's the experience that you got on the booth. You can check it later or maybe tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, you can, if you take a picture, maybe 20 seconds later, it won't work if you share it online. It generally works there. Another cool thing that we do is we create those mementos in business cards. So again, this is a QR code that it works only once. So it's something that companies, like the one that we've showed before, some of them use that card because it allows them to have a conversation with their invitees. It's a physical moment where they looking at the eyes and giving the POAP, and that person can mint it right there, maybe a minute later, or maybe tomorrow, right? And that versatility, it's what allows the POAP, the POAP brands that works with us, to have this experience where it's more of a gift and also a moment that is going to be forever treasured on the blockchain, but it has still some form of humane and more easy to grasp delivery method. So that's the business card.
Those are things that maybe the idea here is not to tell you that there are technical ways to distribute POAP. The idea here is that to make you understand that for something like POAP, that is non-speculative type of NFT, the memorial value of what you're handing, it's important. And if it doesn't work like that, one of the problems we have by POAP exploding exponentially and having a lot of POAPs minting every day is we have a duty to preserve the good usage of POAP, and that's by preserving memorial value. And these kind of details make the difference. For example, today everyone received in their tote bag a different specific QR code. That means that we made an effort here in the conference for you to have a POAP, but not to be able to share it on the web and have every one of your friends claiming also the same POAP. So if you do that, you're going to lose your POAP. You're going to have only one, and only the QR codes only serve one. So those are things that we need to take care if we want to pass to mainstream.
Yes, don't forget to check your tote bag, right? There is a POAP there, if you didn't knew that. And again, the email thing, it's what we're trying to show you that is that for a birthday, for a marriage, you can do POAPs, and even if your friends are not, crypto native or crypto curious, they will claim. They scan the QR code. I think anyone knows how to scan a QR code now. They can put inside the email, and they will receive this only once email saying, basically, that thank you, your POAP are ready to be minted. We give instructions. We recommend to have a wallet, an Ethereum wallet, and then people can follow those instructions the day later and actually having the POAP for them forever. Again, this is all about making POAP accessible to the 99% of the world that has not yet thought about their Web3 presence or questions, and something that we will be doing again in the last part of this presentation in a couple of weeks in a special place where, differently from this crowd, most probably, if everyone had their hand raised a couple of minutes ago, and if I ask who has here an Ethereum address, most probably will be in the 95%. In a couple of weeks, those guys here in front with us will be in places where 2% of people will have an Ethereum addresses, and of course, the other 98% will have email. So we have to think about them also. This is a bit more futuristic, and of course not for what we're going to announce later, but basically there is deep integrations with some of the famous metaverses, the Decentraland being the one where there's a lot of POAP drops every day, with a booth that looks like that. And in this case, that was Miller Lite doing a virtual bar during the Super Bowl. I don't know how many of you knows the Super Bowl event and how it's related to being with friends and drinking beer. And so basically, basically the Miller Lite created the experience where you would have to go to the bar, talk to an actual bouncer and tell your age, and you would discover that place at some place of that bar. You would get the actual POAP proving that you've been here that day during the Super Bowl at the official Miller Lite decentralized experience. A couple of weeks ago, we had basically the same idea, but with Heineken. And yes, and Esther Lauder also. Esther Lauder was doing during the Fashion Week. I don't know if you knew, but there was the Fashion Week in the Decentraland, and there was also a POAP there.
The reason we put this type of things here and what's next is because this is not anymore something that is happening in the Decentraland as a kind of a thing on the side where people enjoying the Decentraland is delivering POAPs for their events. This is big brands using that as a support to deliver POAPs. That's kind of interesting. Also, for the little information, our friends from OVR has created this dispenser so that you can go and see them on the booth. There is a virtual layer in a virtual reality approach. You can see that POAP dispenser on the garden here on the venue. If you have the OVR app, you will see it on a virtual reality, on augmented reality. You can see that dispenser, and you can have a POAP also today, so to show us. And we can go to the next one. And this is some of the other things you can see around the venue, something that we have been working on for the hunt today. You can also, those types of distribution like NFC, you just tap your phone, you have a POAP. This is very important also to ensure the presence, the physical presence somewhere. And those are cool things that are coming, and we're experimenting even today on the event.
Yes, at the hunt, the POAP hunt that you have the hints on your tote bag, you will see that POAP number 2 and POAP number 4 are distributed through an NFC disc. So you can grab them. True, we're also experimenting with this, right? Because NFC works for iPhones like from 10 and on. Android, some need a bit more or a bit less configuration. So we also have alternative ways. But yeah, I mean, we gotta imagine that NFC is like QR codes 5 years ago. People were asking, okay, how do I use this? What app do I need? And in the iPhone, it's already native, and Android also. But then we gotta wait a bit of the newer phones getting newer. But even the new entry-level iPhone, the iPhone SE, does NFC reading. So basically, go to the statue and below, and you will check for the NFC tag, and you can have your POAP.
I think we're gonna have to go a little bit speeder. Okay, yeah. You all realize that we talked a lot about POAP as a first step, as an onboarding of something new for people that is not yet on the crypto ecosystem. But then, of course, still an NFT, and that unlocks a huge amount of possibilities of what you can do with POAPs. This is just a quick example. Adidas made a POAP recently. That POAP has a big value on the market today because they decided to say, okay, if you have that POAP, you're able to go to a pre-sale, or you have benefits, or you can buy Adidas things for the metaverse, sneakers for the metaverse, only if you have that POAPs. But you already understood the logics of the thing.
Okay, and so we're going to talk quickly about some of the use cases that we were working on the last couple of weeks. That's one for the Ukraine DAO, where whomever invested or donated to the Ukraine Foundation or the Ukraine DAO, the one that got in the news, right? The one where they were selling a flag NFT for raising $6 million. Well, then they decided to offer a POAP to any of those addresses that have collaborated with that. And that what is important about this is that it was post factum, meaning that people didn't knew donating that they will get a POAP. It's the foundation that says, okay, now we want to do something nice for them, and they handed a POAP for anyone that has donated to the Ukraine Foundation.
So it's not about, we talked a lot about the fact that brands and organizations do use POAP as an engagement and a community engagement tool. It's not only about business, it's also about having something to treasure, and most of that moments are not necessarily linked to a brand or something that is commercial. Here, for example, there's a good example of something that people will be proud to have on their collection for a long time, and it's related to just a cool operation that brings proud.
So this is something we did in London on the flagship Adidas Central London Oxford Street main store, where we were associated with friends of ours, Creative Debut, and they basically did a magical 4 stories NFT event where a lot of young people were getting back into retail, right? Into an Adidas store to check, not to buy clothes, but to check on artists. And of course, there was there was a POAP there in order to celebrate that moment. I think 2,000 people went to that store during two hours, and it was pretty magical. This is also something we did with the Serpentine Gallery at London, where there was a magical party, exclusive party, where people would go to this house to celebrate NFTs and new art, and it's something very, very related to what we wanted to show you on the last part of this presentation. But yeah, this is again exclusive dinners where people get the POAP, that magical moment that you can imagine with those pictures, and there's a POAP to prove it.
The reason why we're showing this kind of operations is for you to understand that you're probably here because you have a project, you have a community to animate, to make live, and those are things you can maybe relate to, and you can use it. And of course, as I said, we're working with big organizations, but POAP will still be an open protocol for all of you to use it as a way to engage with your communities. So it doesn't have to be complicated, and it can be also really real-lifey, not only about crypto, you know?
Well, we already talked about that, so we'll move fast forward, but yeah, the Mila experience in Decentraland. And now, our friends here will announce something super important that we want to share with you guys. But don't leave, because there is also a surprise at the end. Come. So, Miguel, Tomás.
Thank you, Lucas.
Thank you.
Welcome, everybody. We are here to announce a very important event taking place in 2 weeks, 2 weeks and a half, and it will be an historical thing for the NFT worldwide. I'm an artist from Spain. My name is Miguel Soler-Roig, and we are here to announce that it will be the first ever exhibition of NFTs at the Venice Biennale. And we are going to be here. I'm representing 23 artists. They're not here today, but I'm talking in their behalf. And it's going to be an extremely exciting event, and especially for the art world, the real art world, because we are being confronted with the real art now with the crypto art in form of an NFT. So at this moment, we are finishing our exhibition, and it will be held and open on the April 20th. And for that exclusive event, there will be a POAP that they will do it. So here is Thomas. He is part of the GCA Global Platform DAO, and he can explain you more about how it works, the platform.
Okay, just a few words from my side. So basically, I'm Thomas. I'm based in Paris. So it's really a great honor to be able to present our global crypto art DAO. We are a group of 20 persons work together. So today here we are Miguel, myself, and another colleague is Crystal. She is not here today. And so I'd like to say it's about 6 months ago, we just come out with this idea to be able to exhibit the NFT, art NFT, with the most prestigious exhibition in the world, so which is La Biennale di Venezia. So today, in 2 weeks, we will make it happen. And the location is located in the city center. So you are all welcome to join us, have a talk, to meet up there, and of course to have a beer just nearby. Okay, thank you all.
Yeah. So don't show the QR code for a sec. I'm happy to be explaining again the real core idea behind what we're doing here. We just talked a lot about the. Okay, go and take the POAP, guys. The thing that I wanted you to understand is the purpose of this presentation is to show how this tool can be the bridge between kind of a Web 2 already installed digital life and Web3, and this type of operations are really a way to show that POAP can go into the real world and be with the most important event of art on the world almost, and that we need to make an effort in order to that our technology to be open and to be usable.
Yes, exactly. I said before, right? The people that will came to that event most probably won't have a crypto address. They will have an email, and we'll do our possible to onboard them and to share the story, right, of that Biennale Venice that exists since many years ago, hundreds of years ago, and now this new world, this Web3 world that is also, getting mainstreamized, and it's a proper place to have that conversation. So claim the POAP now. Don't take a picture because it's going to be closed in like 5 minutes after this presentation. Don't share it online. Claim it now. Do it now, because then that POAP will hand you a most exclusive of the visits that you can do in Venice if you come, and you're also, of course, welcome to come and have this conversation with the old and the new, how the new is inspired by the old, and how the old can also get inspired also by the new. And yes, I'm sorry? Yes. Yes. So do you have questions? What is this? So what is the noise? That I don't know. It's outside, okay. But guys, do you have questions?
Yes, there, okay.
Biennale is in Venice. It starts on late April 23 to late November.
So it's from 20. So the pre-opening is from 20 April until 23 April, and the official opening is from 23 April until 27 November. So it's about 6 months in Venice. You got time and to meet us there. Okay.
Another question there.
Yeah, so this is a question I have been asking myself for some time now about POAPs or even certificates as NFTs. So POAP, proof of attendance, to prove that you have attendance, but you can have a POAP and then sell it or even transfer it to someone. Yeah. So maybe some events or some anything that you need a POAP to prove that you can access, then I could just give one to my friend, transfer it. So have you thought about any mechanic that would prevent this?
Yes. Okay, thank you for the question. Yes, we do. This is something that is, of course, something that we have in mind and that will solve part of a problem that can be a problem in some cases, then it cannot be a problem. People have multiple wallets. People need to be able. We really believe that POAP doesn't need to be a different type of NFT. If people wants to put value on it and wants to trade it or wants to exchange it or change it, we shouldn't be there to block them or to don't let them do it. Of course, it's a problem for in multiple situations. For the moment, our decision is to allow that and make confidence into people, the value they put on their POAPs. But if they want to sell it, they want to sell it. But probably they would most probably like to hold them.
But for the use case that you say, if there's a transfer, then it's visible on the blockchain. So whomever enforced you cannot sell it, of course they can because the technology allows to sell, but then we can see if that POAP has moved from a wallet to another. So it's not a perfect solution, but basically we can say, oh, if that POAP have moved, then I'm sorry, you lose your rights.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, it's common. I do have a lot, but in a way, if you really want to have like a Web3 type of profile and building it on time, at one moment you're gonna have to put all your assets somewhere, or at least the assets that you want to display or show. And this is probably going to be a problem for people to
Next
interact
and
with
last
Web3.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. We tried to mint several projects on POAP the past year, especially for digital communities, Discord channel and Telegram channel. And we always had the problem that it was sold out within seconds, sold out, it was printed out, minted out, whatever, because due to bot attacks. How do you solve this for the future, please?
I think you just got it in this presentation, but we were explaining that the QR code, the dynamic QR codes and the card and the business cards, individual business cards, and what you have on your tote bag, it's also a QR code that is unique. It works only once.
We talked about a technical solution for that. Maybe since we don't have any more time, come to our booth and we're displaying that solution that you're talking about. It's a streaming solution in which the QR codes are secured. They change. You have to kind of approve. You're not a farmer. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all, and have a great day.